I just want to make certain of that because that's a police report, I assume, is going to say that.
I ran down to his apartment.
Down to a neighbor's apartment?
Yes.
Naked?
To get my cell phone.
You didn't answer me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Naked?
Yes.
Okay, so you ran down to the neighbor's apartment naked,
yes.
and?
I was trying to get out as soon as I possibly could. Nothing mattered.
Sure, just a second.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
You
Your
were down
Honor.
there naked, and I assume you waited there for the police.
I got his cell phone, walked back to my apartment, and was calling
Got whose cell phone?
my neighbors down the hall.
Just a second. You're now in your neighbor's apartment down the hall, and you've called the police from the neighbors? Shh, let's keep my flow very... You're in your neighbor's apartment. Now you're safe and naked in your neighbor's apartment. I want you to go step by step for me, because I heard what you said. Now you're safe in your neighbor's apartment. They let you in.
Your Honor, I want to make clear that he did not let me inside his apartment. He lives with his mother. I stood in front of his apartment door, and he came out and gave me his cell phone to use to call the police.
Just a second. So he opened the door.
Yes.
This neighbor of yours.
Yes.
He opened the door, saw you naked, standing outside, and you said, "Can I borrow your cell phone?"
Yes.
And he handed you his cell phone. Is this neighbor somebody that has been your neighbor for a while?
Yes.
What's his name?
I would rather not say his name.
I'm telling you I want to know his name. Is he still your neighbor?
Yeah, well,
But
yes,
yeah,
currently he is.
Is he still your neighbor?
Yes.
What's his name?
I don't want to put his...
I want to know what kind of person it is that opens a door in the middle of the night and sees their neighbor naked in the hallway and doesn't say, "Come in, what's the problem?" and just hands you a phone. I would like to know what kind of person that is. So then you take the cell phone that your neighbor has given you and you'd go back to the apartment.
Yes.
Oh, how many apartments are there in this building of yours?
A lot.
And is there a lobby?
I live on the 4th floor.
Is there a lobby?
Yes.
And right now you ran out of your apartment because you were in fear of the defendant. And instead of remaining in a safe, because he didn't follow you outside, you went back to the apartment.
Yes.
Now, tell me what happened when you got back to the apartment.
When I got back to the apartment, Darnell was still in the apartment. I called the police. I grabbed his shoes, threw his shoes out of the window.
Okay, so
Darnell's
you went back,
shoes.
just a second. So you threw his shoes out the window.
Yes.
Okay.
That was an effort to get him to
second.
leave.
Why would you throw his shoes out the window?
That was a strategy for me to get him to leave because he would not leave.
Well, why didn't you just, instead of grabbing his shoes, why didn't you grab a bathrobe and you leave?
Eventually, I was able...
Not eventually. Why would you take his shoes and throw them out the window? Now you're back in the apartment, but you're naked, according to you, and you have your neighbor's phone. Why don't you just grab something and run downstairs to the lobby? He hasn't followed you so far.
I grabbed his shoes so that he could leave. I wanted him out of my apartment. That was my apartment.
But you called the police already. Police were on their way.
The police...
They were going to meet you downstairs in your building. So instead of doing something like throwing his shoes out the window, I'm asking you, why not just grab a robe, a shirt, or something, and go downstairs and wait for the police?
I did put something on when I came back. He would not let me put anything on before I went and called the police. I grabbed for a lounge dress to put on, but he would not let me put it on. That's when he was grabbing and shoving me.
I'm not talking about that. We're back in the apartment now, and you're throwing the shoes out. You know exactly what I'm saying. Don't try to confuse me. I'm old. You know exactly what I'm saying to you, right? I know that you've been over the story a million times with a million other people, but this story is getting dissected, right? Now, according to you, at the time you threw her shoes out the window, then he threw your computer out the window.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And according to your complaint, after you threw his shoes out the window, he threw your computer out the window, and you say he's paying for your computer because he acknowledged that he threw the computer out the window after you threw his shoes out the window, and he's paying for it. So that's not part of this lawsuit. I didn't even have to hear about the computer because she said you've paid for the computer.
I acknowledged it.